Hello, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm doing a bit of a really glass cannony Aether Strikers build that I've been running to get some pretty fast behemoth kills. So guess we'll just go right into it. So basically, um, right now I'm running a tomb at 6, because lantern charge equals more DPS for with conduit. Um, and to use Embermane's quick tap, whatever, more often. Um, Berserker, because this is what 35% more damage, like most of the time. Um, then we have Knockout King because Aether Strikers have some really good stagger damage, and using Knockout King with them, you can usually stagger within like the first 30 seconds, and it's just really good. You get a lot of damage in, and usually with Knockout King, you can get stagger chains, so they can never recover. It's a little bit harder on the higher heroic behemoths and everything in heroic plus, but it's really good. This you could use like Rage Hunter or something else for more damage, or Pacifier or whatever. But I feel like Knockout King's probably the best for this if you're doing it to farm and everything. And then we get Predator because Predator 6. This is from Strike of Thorns and Mantle of Thorns, which Koshai armor, and this gives us 35% more damage again. And this usually works well because if you're staggering really early, then there's like no chance of you getting hit. So you always basically have 35% more damage when you're in the fight. Then we get Overpower 3, which gives us 25% more damage versus, Stagger Behemoths when we do that. And that comes from like, no, it's Rage Hunter. It comes from the Infernal Flames. So this isn't like a big deal, but it's definitely really beneficial if you have Knockout King because you're getting 25% extra damage every time you stun. And if you're getting Behemoths in the stun chain, you're doing obviously a lot more damage. Rage Hunters aren't really important. This just comes from this. So we use Infernal Flames because the 8th attack does 250 damage plus major blades damage, and it gives us Overpower. So not only do we get a 25% damage bonus when we stagger, which we do stagger a lot with this build, but we also get 250 plus damage every time we get 8 hits in, and that scales with Predator, so you get 35% more damage, and then you get another 35 for Predator and Berserker. So that's doing a lot of damage plus the major blades dot damage and everything. So it does a lot of damage with every 8th attack. There's some people think that there's been talks that this has been better because you get attunement, so you can save one slot on that, and you also get 30 or 40% more damage when you're hitting a behemoth's head. But I'm not sure if that necessarily is better, considering that you're not always going to be getting that extra damage on the behemoth's head. But for this build, Infernal Flames is the way to go because you get 2 power cells, which you can get Knockout 6 on. And then we run Berserker 3 on our Hellplate. In Mantle of Thorns, you run Conduit because Conduit, more attack speed's good, even though they already have a pretty good attack speed already. But having this 25% attack speed up like almost all the time because you're using your hold ability so often is really good because you're getting more DPS, more attack speed you hit and everything, and makes everything flow much better because you can combo it with this. So you get the 30% attack speed for 8 seconds or whatever, and then you pop the hold ability, so you have 60% faster attack speed at the time, plus your tier 1 ability for the strikers. So you have a lot of attack speed, so you're attacking much faster. So you then charge in your lantern charge again. So once this goes down, you lose 30%, but then you can always for the most part keep up conduit up. So that's really good. So you're at least getting like 50% or however percent attack speed up most of the time. Then we run Light's Refuge for Conduit 3 to get Conduit 6, and then we put Berserker in here. So we only have Berserker 6. Then we have Stride of Thorns for obviously Predator and more attunement. And then we put more attunement in our lantern. So it's pretty basic. I guess we'll just hop into a quick heroic behemoth run, show you how it flows and everything, and hope not to completely butcher this live recording and make myself look really dumb and make the build look really bad. Even with the weapon, like even if you take damage and lose the 35% damage from Predator, you still can do staggering pretty easily, and you can still flow pretty quickly. So that's not like a huge problem, but it's definitely more efficient not to take hits, especially if you're trying to max out Behemoth Mastery for not taking 100 damage or whatever for each Behemoth. But yeah, this is a really good build if you can not get hit and you're trying to farm pretty fast, because strikers at the moment are really strong. Firebrand Cherog. This should be not bad of a fight. Should be pretty easy. I'm not really great when it comes to Blaze though. So yeah, this build does some pretty good stagger damage and really good damage as well. If you have all three buffs up and then you use your Clash or whatever. Also, I just take Clash over because it just feels better being up close to the Behemoth's face instead of like going up in the air and then shooting a laser. It just comes out faster, in my opinion, and gives more DPS. I think it's what, 200% more damage or something when you have all three buffs up. I forget what it says, but yeah, it's just more DPS in general because you're always staying close to the Behemoth, and yeah, that's why I prefer it over the Bolt one. But Bolt has a little bit more utility, so. So the combo is attack speed buff, then I usually remove, then you go into this, and then you get this dot on. See, look at that stagger, that's an early stagger already. And then after you have those two buffs up, the DPS or the dot and the attack speed up, you use your ability. And then you just combo into your other combos. Behemoth's already going Rage. Usually I just pop a Rage Potion because why not? Makes it faster. I should have dodged that, but I'm bad. No worries, because he's going to die pretty quickly anyways. This isn't going so hot. I'm looking like an idiot. Attack speed buff. And then we put the dot on again. And then we go for the big damage. The top ability is really good for repositioning. There's no iframes in it. I'm really bad right now, but yeah, it does a lot of damage, and it's really good when you don't take hits and you're not bad like me. But I'll do one more fight and hopefully not fuck up as badly, so the build actually gets, you know, better rep. But usually on a good run, no hit run, I get a sub 2, like 150-ish time, and it kind of depends. Like if you were to be facing obviously a frozen behemoth or whatnot, you'd obviously do more damage and be faster. But this build's really good for staggering enemies. Like I said before, it's a really glass cannon build. It's not really good if you do take hits like I did there, because you have what's way less HP, so yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a good build if you're good at not taking hits and you can farm, because you can definitely get a lot of hunts in pretty quickly and farm pretty fast. Definitely recommend giving it a go. it's really fun. If you like the chain blade version build of this, where it's a glass cannon just as well, you should enjoy this one as well. It's just a little bit different. You're a little less mobile, but you do, I think, more damage on the chain blades. But both feel pretty similar, and they're both pretty fun. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a very similar build with this. Very similar build with this with chain blades, with the infernal chain blades, which does pretty good similar DPS. It's a bit more fast-paced in terms of like your movement. So I don't know. It's very similar. If you like that one, definitely give that one a go and try that one out. Let's see if I can have a much smoother run this time without getting down and make myself look like an idiot. I forget about that second back kick sometimes. That's annoying. The light heavy can stagger behemoths, by the way. Quick stagger. Oh, nice. I'm really showing the skill of this build. Super good. Another quick stagger. Another stagger. And he's dead. So yeah, if you don't fuck up like me and get hit and get down like that, you can usually stagger them into an infinite stagger until they're dead, because it just does a lot of damage. Yeah, so yeah, this would have been definitely a under 2 minutes run if I would have obviously not gotten down there. But yeah, that's basically the build. If you're better than me at this game and you can actually dodge and not get hit and not get greedy, then you definitely will love this build, because it will run through behemoths really quickly, you'll stagger them, and you'll just have a blast. It's really fun. Aether Strikers are a great weapon, definitely recommend getting them out. So yeah, that's all I could say. There might be some more improvements or ways you can change it. I know you can run a similar build, but go with like cunning and crit with this, but I haven't really delved into that too much, but that's definitely something an option you can have. So yeah, definitely check out the Aether Strikers, check out this build, it's really fun, highly recommend it, and until next time.